Shavua Tov, this is Rabbi Kovacs, and we are journeying through Shas Mishnayot in Chapter 2 of Bava Kama, Mishnayot 3 and 4, Gimel Dalet today. Now, yesterday we talked about Shen and Regel. Now, the Mishnah brings a specific case of Regel, a Kelev, a Gedi, a dog or a young goat. Gedi is like Had Gadya that we sing at the Pesach Seder. A young goat, Shekafzu Mirosh Agog. They jumped off the roof. The Shibra to Kalim. They jumped onto someone else's property and broke Kalim over there when they landed. Misholim Nezek Shalom, they pay full damages. The owner, the responsible party, pays full damages. Mipnei Shehen Muadin. It's normal for dogs and goats and other jumpy creatures to jump. Now, when we say jump off the roof, if you go to Yerushalayim, Ir Atika, you'll see the roofs aren't always 10 or 20 feet off the ground. Somebody could have a roof and his neighbor's roof could be, 3 or 4 feet lower, and that's his neighbor's property. So if his goat jumps off his roof into his neighbor's roof because he didn't have a fence, a make, he didn't stop the goat, he let the goat go up on the roof unsupervised, so that's on him. So it's not necessarily mamish jumped off the roof here. Hakelev shenatol harara, a dog that takes a burning coal. Now the burning coal is inside of a biscuit or a piece of bread. It used to be you could take a hot coal and wrap dough around it, and it sort of comes out as sort of a pizza. Of course, you take the coal out before you eat it, but the dog doesn't know any better, so he grabbed the whole thing with the coal inside, v'holach legodish, and he sat down to eat it next to the haystack. So this is the famous case where the dog took the biscuit with the burning coal and then sat down next to the haystack. Guess what happens next? Achol harara, he ate the bread part of the biscuit, and the coal inside fell out. Hidlik agodish, and it lit the haystack on fire. Allah harara mishalem nezek shalem. On that biscuit, he pays full damages. This is shane. This is an animal eating what's normal for it to eat. A kelev could eat practically anything. It's normal for them. Volagodish mishalem hati nezek. But on the haystack, the owner of the dog is paying half damages. Here, the haystack is not being set on fire by the dog, but by something the dog dropped out of its mouth in the course of eating, so it's akin to the case of tsurot, of gravel or pebbles that kind of normally get bumped out when an animal is walking along on the street and there's gravel and it goes and breaks something. We learned in Mishnah Aleph was half damages. Let's go on to Dalet. Ezehu Tam, Ezehu Muad. Who is innocent and who is guilty? We're coming up on Elul, the month of repentance soon. This is very appropriate. Muad kol sheheidu bo shlosha yamim. A muad animal is where they've warned them 3 days. So not necessarily consecutive days, but on 3 separate days, they warned the owner of this animal that, hey, your animal is causing a certain kind of damage, it's eating something abnormal, it's attacking people, something like this, pushing other animals. Tam mishiyachzer bo shlosha yamim. And it can become tam again for 3 days. It does not do this aggressive, damaging behavior. Divrei Rabbi Yehuda. This is according to the opinion of Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Meir disagrees. He said, Muad shahida bo shlosha pe'amim. It's muad when they warn the owner 3 instances. So instead of 3 days, 3 separate days, it's just 3 separate instances, even if they're all on the same day. So it comes out according to Rabbi Yehuda, sometimes the shore, just like all of us, has a bad day, and we can't hold him against it until there's a pattern of behavior over multiple days, where Rabbi Meir says, no, a pattern 3 times on one day is enough of a pattern to be muad. Rabbi Meir adds vatam, and when is it considered innocent again? Kol shiu tinokot mimashmashin bo ve'eno nogeach. If you can have kids who are, poking on him and pulling his ear, and he doesn't do anything aggressive against them. The Gehati brings from the poskim that we paskin like Rabbi Yehuda for entering into a state of muad. It has to be 3 different days, so we're all allowed to have our bad days. Just don't go goring anybody. And we actually paskin like Rabbi Meir to get out of a state of muad has to be that children would theoretically be able to go up to the animal and it would not harm them. Now, we don't actually send young children to poke animals to test them. We'd probably get an expert on animal behavior. There's a similar halacha we have by kashrus. Okay, totally different, but it's similar because we have a thing called yad soledet bo. The hand recoils from touching it because it's very hot. We say that's the hand of a young child. We don't actually get young children to touch hot pots and things like this to test them. The postgame have a discussion. There's an actual temperature. We can measure the temperature, and the postgame discuss what's the actual temperature of yad soledet, but we don't actually have young children touching hot pots and potentially dangerous animals. That's not a thing we do in halacha. Yashar kochachem, Shavua Tov.